over here. Okay, so but before that, let me just do some quick explanation. Is whenever we do the design on HVAC, we start to draw a long HVAC from one point to the other point, right? But in actual, it doesn't come with a long HVAC. You always come with a segment, right? With a certain maximum length. So whatever we need to do is, previously if you want to do this kind of method, it's going to take some time as well. But from here, what can I do is I can just click Design to Fabrications, and I'm going to choose the supply A. Okay. Basically, what the Revit will help me to do is they're going to help me to optimize the length. And now you can see all the HVAC piping is going to break into a segment. Okay. And from this segment, basically what you can do is I can start to send all this off, all these HVAC details or the fabrications to the fabrication tools. What we call is the cam duct. Okay, so let's say that for example on this one, I'm going to export to a fabrications tools. What you call is a .maj. Okay, I'm going to save it over here. Okay, so it tells me that there's already about 16 fabrication is exported. So I'm going to move into quickly on the cam duct. I'm going to show it to you how you can bring all this kind of Revit model into fabrications. Okay, so I'm going to open up the job that I exported earlier on. Okay, so what you're going to have is all this kind of segment. I have about 60 items over here. So if I click into one by one in details, you can see basically they have all these kind of segmented items. Quickly were done over here. Okay, so what I need to do is I can start to click Automate Nesting. All right, so you're going to help me to lay into this kind of method, and from here you can start to send to the machine for the cutting. Okay, and even from that, the cam duct can start to tell you how long it's going to take to do this kind of cutting. Okay, so basically I can just quickly go to the view and see. Okay, and now I can just click play. On top of here, maybe it's not so clear, but on top of here is written to cut all this kind of profile is going to take about 4 minutes. Okay, so basically you can see all these kind of details, how you're going to cut, from where it's going to cut, how you're going to optimize the usage or the profile for that steel plate. Okay, and even I can start to click on the print preview. Okay, and I can say that, hey, give me all the details on the label. Okay, and you're going to start to tell me all these kind of details, including how the installation is going to be. Like for example, okay, on this straight HVAC, okay, the first item is going to be on this side, the second item is going to be on this side, the third item, item number 19, and I can move into a few more pages how all the details is going to be. All right, so this is one of the methods how you can see all your BIM models is going to move into a fabrications method or the fabrications constructions. Okay, so if you look at more in details on the Revit MEP, basically you can see there's more details that it can be done. Let's say that for example, I want to connect from this point to the other point. All I can do is from the MEP fabrication part, I can just quickly click on the rectangular and I choose what kind of the ducting that I want, and I can start to key in whatever the details. I can even play around with the sizing. Let's say that this one is going to be 2 feet 4 inches. Okay, so basically I can just put in at this area here. Okay, so for me to connect from this part to the other part, I can start to choose what kind of elbow, what kind of tapping that I want it to be. So let's say that I'm going to use this one as a tab. Okay, and I can just go to the edit part and say that, okay, what is the size that I'm looking for? 12 inches over 7 inches. Okay, and I'm going to start to put at these locations. Okay, so I can just play around with the tab button and just quickly put it in over here. Okay, so I'm going to quickly put another one over here on top of here and say that connect as a tab. Okay, and you can see basically you're going to start to detect my items where I'm going to put it to. So let's say I'm going to put it over here and I'm going to start to rotate. Okay, and now I can start to move my elbow into this kind of direction. Later you will see clearly how it's going to be affect on the on my 3D models. Okay, so I'm going to say that this one is 10 inches over, let's say 14 inches. Okay, and now I can start to say that, okay, from here, route and fill to these locations. Okay, so I will show it to you how the 3D looks like over here. Okay, so I'm going to connect from here, this elbow duct to the tab over here. Basically, all I need to do is just click the finish button. It helps me to connect it automatically. Okay, so I can do a similar things with the round duct as well. Let's say that, for example, I quickly want to do a quick design over here. Let's say that from the square to a round duct over here, and I want to say that this one is 10 inches. Okay, and I can start to put in the piping on the round piping, round tube over here, and I say that this is only 1 feet. Okay, and I can even put a band over here as well. Okay, I can play around with this kind of figure. So now from here I can say that, hey, route and fill for me to this point, to the diffuser. So I have a couple of solutions over here that I can choose. Basically, if I click finish, I can quickly get whatever the connection is going to be. All right, so let's say that I'm going to create one more outlet over here. Let's say I'm going to use the press T. Okay, all I need to do is I just click on this part. Okay, I'm going to add an outlet over here, and I'm going to connect from here to this point. Okay, so from here to this point, all I need to do is same thing as well. I just click on this one, route and fill, and go to this point. Okay, what you didn't realize is, whatever is giving here, it will write to me how many solutions that I can choose from with this route. Okay, so every time I choose a different solution, you will realize on the fabrication part, they will help me to choose a different item or the different component. Okay, like for example, this is a solution 2. The one that you're using is a band 60 degree. So if I use the solution 4, it's going to use the band 90 degree. So I can move around and see what kind of the solution is the best for me. Okay, so same thing as well. When I click finish, basically I can just quickly connect it and look at how the 3D looks like. Okay, so like for example this one. Okay, this is where I get connecting from this point to this point earlier on. You can see now to design a Revit MEP in Revit 2017 is much faster with the fabrication parts over here. All right. Okay, so now when people start to talk about the Revit MEPs, the Revit and so on, basically we have one another things that I want to share with you guys is on the cloud base. Okay, so this is part of the solutions that everyone is start to talk about cloud based. So how many of you heard about A360 or the BIM 360? All right, so you guys heard about that thing, A360 and BIM 360, right? How many of you are confused about A360, A360 Drive, A360, BIM 360, and so on? Anyone confused? Yeah, we have a few people confused over here. Okay, it's quite common because whenever Autodesk release this product, I'm quite confused as well why there's a lot of terminology about A360, A360 Drive, and so on. Okay, but before I'm going into that, I want to talk about why we are looking into cloud-based. And especially in the Singapore government agency already start to look at into the cloud-based system as well. Okay, one of the biggest enhancement about the cloud-based is you can start to access all your models and also all your data, whether it's from office or you're outside from office, or if you're traveling to Dubai, to the European country or to the other ASEAN country. Basically, you don't need to bring your laptop anymore. Let's say that, for example, if you have the project in Malaysia, okay, so all I need to do is to bring my iPad and I can start to present my BIM model or the design with using my iPad that's connected to the projector. That's how one of the key features or the reason why people start to move into a cloud-based. And especially when you start to talk about, you have a couple of offices. You have one office in Ho Chi Minh, you have other office in Hanoi, you have other office in Thailand or Vietnam, or maybe in Indonesia. Basically, last time, previously, if you want to start to communicate to develop one project with this kind of team, different team in different country, it's almost impossible unless you're using the link file or unless you're using the FTP or VPN, all right? So basically, people start to use the workset because the project is getting bigger and you can't share your workset outside from your office, all right? So that's one of the reasons that people start to move into a cloud base where you can store your central file in the cloud, okay? So later in the second part, Ang Nguyen gonna talk about this thing as well, how he implement the cloud base in his projects. But before that, I'm gonna quickly go through and explain what is the difference about A360, BIM 360, and so on. In the market, what we heard is we have a couple of products or the solution that that is being talked about, or you might ever heard is like A360, BIM 360 Glue, BIM 360 Docs, Plans, Field, Building Ops, and so on. But out of all the core, you can see each of the BIM 360 product is catered for a different stage. Like for example, BIM 360 Glue is for the pre-construction, for the coordination, clash checking, and so on. BIM 360 Field is for you for the site management, safety management, issue management, and so on. So on top of that, we have one product or the one solution, what we call is the A360. All right. So if anyone the contract manager or the IT manager in the office, you might heard about A360 when you purchase a subscription with the Autodesk. Okay, so A360 Drive actually is a cloud-based product, just like how you use Google Drive, Box, Dropbox, and so on. A360 Drive will come with a subscription. As long as you're under subscription, they provided you with the 25 gigabyte storage. Basically, this space is purely for the storage and not for the any purposes. Just like how you use Dropbox, Google Drive, and so on. But we have other thing what we call is the A360. A360 actually you can just log in into the Autodesk website and you can register it for free. All right. So you can use the A360 for free as well. So every time you register, you're going to provide you with the 5 gigabyte storage. And the reason with the A360 different from the A360 Drive is A360 is for the collaboration. That means that you can view your DWG drawing, your Revit models, everything online. As long as you have the internet access, you have Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox, basically you can open up your models through the web browser without any installation or without any plugin. Okay. So on top of that, we have what we call is the A360 theme, which is a paid version, and it comes with a 10 gigabyte per user. Okay, so there's a difference between A360 theme and A360. Where A360 theme actually can store your central file. That means that if you have a BIM studio in Philippines, basically they can access your central file together with you guys, which is in Ho Chi Minh, at the same time and work together at the same time. So I'm not going to talk more about this solution because I'm going to show it to you how he's going to do it live on his projects. Okay. So there's a lot of products of the BIM 360, but I'm not going to show it to you on all the products. But what I want to share with you is one of the products, what you call is the BIM 360 Glue. How BIM 360 Glue connected to the cloud base and what is capable to do with the cloud base and so on. Okay, let's say that this is the models, okay, and from the add-ins, basically we have what we call is the BIM 360 Glue add-in, okay. Oops, I'm going to turn this one off, okay. Okay, so from this BIM 360 Glue, basically you can just click the glue button That means that you're going to upload this model into the cloud base. Okay, so into a cloud called BIM 360 Glue. Once you click on this, select a host, and you're going to choose what kind of project that you want to upload this model. So let's say that I'm going to choose a project called project-my. Basically, all I need to do is I'm going to upload what kind of view, what kind of 3D view that I want to. Okay, so once I click next, it's going to help me to upload into a BIM 360 space. So this is how the BIM 360 Glue looks like. Okay, so whenever I click on this BIM 360 Glue, let's say that, for example, I click on this project called project-my. This is where all the segmented models located. Like, for example, I have all the models from the architects, from the structure engineer, from the M&E, and so on. Basically, all of them is going to upload their model into this space. Okay, I have all these individual files. And what it's capable to do, from this all individual file, I can merge into a single model called merge models. Okay, so from this merge model, basically you can do quite a number of things with this merge model. I can do a crash detection directly from here. I can look at how my actual building looks like when combined with the structure and also the M&E models. Okay, so basically you can do this kind of performance directly from the web browsers or from the iPad directly as well. So let's say that this is the model that I included. So basically you can see this model is included the architectural model, structural, electrical, plumbing, and so on. I can even turn it off if I want to look at certain models or the certain elements. So like, for example, this one I want to look at the M&E services with my structural component. Okay, so on top of here, I can even go into the certain specific view or the area that I preset. Let's say that, for example, I want to go to the corridor. Okay, so I can even look at the corridor. I can even turn off the ceiling and look at how the ceilings looks like and so on. Basically, you have this kind of capability, just like Navisworks, but the only difference between Glue and Navisworks is Glue, everything is a cloud-based. So you can access this kind of things or the issues, everything online. Okay, while Navisworks is more physical, that it stays in your PC or in your office. Okay, so one of the biggest thing about BIM 360 Glue is it can start to do a crash detection. Okay, so I'm going to show it to you a quick one. Let's say that structural versus plumbing or the HVAC. Okay, so almost the same like how in Navisworks, if you guys ever use Navisworks. So I can just choose the structural model with my HVAC model and just click Find Clash. Okay, so the basic idea on how Navisworks do the clash analysis, you can do the same thing with the BIM 360 Glue as well. So